What's going on today, guys? How's the bird looking today? Looking pretty good, right? Well, you wouldn't have thought that at 12 noon today. I took it out today, and I wanted to test fly it with some 1045 carbon fiber props on it that I've had for a long time, and I just decided I was going to take it out and put them on there, balance them up, put it on. But I had a flyaway, and the flyaway cost 3 broken arms, 3 broken props, and a totally wasted gimbal. I have backtracked every bit of this and went into every single thing on this to figure out what went wrong. And I went into the Taranis radio, into the OpenTX, and I double checked and triple checked everything in there to make sure that I did not change anything or accidentally change anything in there. Everything in there was perfect. After I got it back together, before I put the props on it, I hooked it back up to the NASA Assistant. As soon as I plugged it in, NASA Assistant came on. Every switch worked perfect. GPS, altitude manual, fail-safe, home lock, 55% throttle, everything worked perfect. And I couldn't figure out what went wrong. It was more than likely, I'm 100% sure that this had a flyaway due to I did not do the calibration dance before I took off and flew it this morning. I flew it from the same exact spot that I flew it from 2 days ago, so I didn't think I needed to recalibrate it, but obviously I was way wrong on that one. Once I took off and got it at about half throttle and I got it up maybe a foot or two off the ground, it just shot straight up. It went up to about 200 feet straight up. And then I just didn't really know what to do. I was kind of dumbfounded there for a second. So what I did then is I automatically, as I clicked it down into manual mode, trying to do any kind of maneuver with it, I had absolutely no control on either stick. And I could see at 200 feet the wind was blowing it. It had a good 20-mile-an-hour wind here today. But I was just going to fly it out in the front yard just a few feet off the ground to do that test. But when it shot up to the 200 feet, the wind pushed it on down the road. I went ahead and clicked it out of manual mode back up into GPS mode and put it into fail-safe mode. Now, I went into a nice hover in fail-safe mode, but it would not return, because I tried twice to do that. I clicked it out of fail-safe, clicked it down into altitude, clicked it back into GPS, and then clicked it into fail-safe again. I had the time to do all this because it wasn't really hauling ass off in any direction. It was just way up there, and it was just moving off slowly to the north. When all said and done, it was 4.5 blocks away from my house when I ended up finding it. The only good thing about it was the Taranis radio and my telemetry. I was able to drive up and down the street with my Taranis, with it still on, and I could sit there and listen to it read out my dB to me. And when I got up to around 75 dB, I pulled over, and that's when I started looking for it. And as soon as I jumped out of my truck and looked off to my left-hand side, there it was laying between 2 houses. So that really worked out real well. So when I repaired everything today, I went ahead and I tore all the motors all apart on them, cleaned all the motors out, and just did a complete cleanup on the whole thing and put it all back together because I had all the spare parts to do it. The gimbal is totally wasted. Everything else is fine except for the gimbal, 3 arms, and 3 props. But I had all the parts to fix the arms and the props. The gimbal, I'll just have to get another one. But like I said, from now on, I will never fly this again without doing the calibration dance each and every time. I don't know why it wanted to be recalibrated again, because I took off from the same place in my front yard where I took off from it 2 days ago, and it flew perfect then. But it didn't fly perfect this time. It was just totally and completely uncontrollable on both sticks. Now I don't know what that calibration on that compass has to do with taking away both of my sticks to my transmitter, but it did. I had absolutely no control, period. I even had time. I had 2 or 3 minutes before it came down. I had time to do everything. I had time to put it in manual mode, absolutely nothing. I had time to put it back in GPS mode, absolutely nothing. I had time again to put it in manual mode, absolutely nothing on either stick. It would not do any kind of flight mode, whatever I wanted it to do. So I just put it in fail-safe mode and let it come down like that. And then I found it with the telemetry. But that was my day. I had a great day here of 70 degrees in Missouri in January, so I wanted to really get out and test fly it with the new 1040. They're not new. I've had them props for quite a while, but they're carbon fiber 1045 props, and I just wanted to try them out and see how much more lift I could get out of it. And obviously that didn't work out well. 3 of those props didn't actually break off or anything, but they were all broken around the hub. So when I went to pull them off, they all snapped up right there at the hub from hitting the ground. But it took off like a bat out of hell, and it sure went straight up at 100 miles an hour. Them props really, I'll get another set of them, but and I just sat down yesterday and took all the time to balance those out and get them working and put them on. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. So all I'm going to do, I'll just give you a message here. Make sure that you calibrate your compass every single time that you fly it. Don't take for granted that even though I put it down in the same spot that I flew it from yesterday, that it's going to be good to go, because obviously that's not the case. So that's all I had for the day. I hope your day was better than mine. There you go.